Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. It's an exciting day. You know, we've been reviewing a lot of watches here. Yes, we have. And I know that you go, oh my gosh, that watch just looks like the one he reviewed last week or the week before. Or it looks like the one I've been waiting for but isn't out yet. But it's going to look just like this, so why am I watching, huh? Well, here's why you're watching, because this one is totally different. Something you have not seen before. I haven't seen it. And it comes from a major watch label, Kingwear. Inside this smartwatch box is something for the ladies, something for the kids, something that's a smartwatch that might fit on your arm and not look like it's 3 times bigger. Wow, let's take a look. There it is. We are looking at the Kingwear KW08. This is a smaller one, 1.22-inch heart rate monitor, camera, GSM, SIM card, and of course, we have the buying link for this watch directly from our folks over at BangGood, who are constantly coming up with surprises for us in new watches. What's it got inside of it? Let's take a look. Being a 1.22-inch device, it's got a relatively small 240 by 240 pixel resolution LCD screen, and that means probably low power overall, considering the smaller number of pixels than the large format ones we've seen. We do have a tiny camera on board, not going to be the sharpest images, 0.3 megapixels, and a 320 milliamp hour battery. Supports all these other things, including these GSM bands. Oh, and by the way, it's what you call a dual mode type of a watch. It can do the Bluetooth tethering, and it can have standalone capability too. And if that isn't enough, the thing can actually support installing external memory. So it's one of those really universal overall tethering watches with lots of capabilities in a round, smaller form factor that fits with a smaller arm. Here we go. Let's unbox it. First of all, it's a nice little watch. It's got one of those rubbery kind of bands to it. And you notice I'm on the last rung. Look how small a wrist that would fit. Have you got a 4-year-old? A 2-year-old that this watch might work for? Well, it could actually tighten up to fit. Wow. Oh, all right. On the back, we have the charging ports. We have the diode and receiver for your heart rate monitor. And that's it. You can't take off a SIM card cover. You have to take all the screws out to get inside for the SIM and the extra memory. Microphone. This is the brushed gold color. Goes this way then. We have a camera and 2 buttons. We have a cover, which I always like to take off of these. And it's kind of got the bezel of a Kingwear KW08, doesn't it? Their trademark. They really like that bezel, so they've stuck with it now with the KW08. All right. Anything else to tell you? The band is definitely a solid rubber band. It's got good bend to it and lots of holes. What's it look like on? Well, with it off, let me just show you. It looks like this. And you know, I've got about a medium-sized wrist, so it actually looks like a little bit small on my arm. Move that out of the way. It's good size, but it certainly could work with someone who has a small wrist. And that's new. We haven't seen much of that before. Okay, what else comes in the box? Parts. What kind of parts? Let's get to it. There we go. A box full of parts. One would assume some sort of a charging cable. Here we go. Oh, there's another one of those cover things for those of you who like put plastic covers on. I mentioned in a lot of my videos that I don't bother with that. I've never scratched a watch, and it makes it harder on the swiping for me. We have a little bag of screws and a screwdriver, which will be, replaceable for when you take the back cover off to get inside of it. And we have a little card, it looks like, that basically shows what it looks like when you take the cover off and how to do it. We do have a user's manual. We'll get that out here. And we have the charging cable. And this cable is the magnetic type, like we're seeing in all of them. And it snaps right there. It's a little on the weak side. It's okay. That's not holding on by itself. All right. Okay, what have we got in here? A user's manual that tells us about what we've got. All the buttonology and the functions that come already pre-installed on the watch. Here's information. Now, this is a special, I believe, magnetic charging dock that you can get for this watch. And when you set it on that system, you can charge it magnetically without actually having to plug in. Is that all right? Can you read that there? Looks like you can. Okay. Wow, lots of pages of print. Try to put it in a way that if you want to read it, you can pause your YouTube video and digest the manual. I wish these came in like a PDF format that I could include in the show notes, but very rarely does that happen. So we do the best we can with just shooting it on the video. Still in English. The warranty card, and then there's upside down the Chinese version of the user's manual. Okay, we're going to charge it up and turn it on and walk through the paces of this interesting KW08. Well, before we begin, I'd like to bring in an old trusted friend, our good old original KW88, just so you can see the two of these watches together. Because this one, the KW88, is a full Android 5.1 smartwatch phone. All right? And of course, we're looking at the KW08 as being a tethering smartwatch. This one uses its own SIM card. This one tethers to your phone for connectivity. Now, in terms of the way they look, they're about the same thickness. It's just the 08 is a lot smaller. On the back side, notice here's where we put the SIM card on the KW88, and on the KW08, get the lighting just right here, you see the back is totally different. It's kind of raised in the middle. It's got that little slot there for the magnetic charging, where you don't even have to connect to the spots. When you do, though, you see it uses basically the same type of connectivity, so you might be able to even interchangeably use the connectors. And on this side, well, we did look at that side. Let's look at the button side. On the button side, okay, the KW88 has one button and the camera. The KW08 has two buttons and the side camera. So the designs are very similar in nature, but the concept and the operation is different. We're getting notifications and all sorts of stuff here because I have that already tethered to my phone. Now that's what the displays look like. Here we have our apps, and here we have our apps. The layout's a bit different. And then the bezels. There's the bezel, the kind of characteristic bezel of the KW88 series has been carried over to the KW08. All right, little quick comparison there for you. Daddy bear and mommy bear or baby bear right in the same line. So let's take a look now at the KW08 and see what the apps do. Let's run through the pages first of all. We have a page here, another one here, here, and All of these. And they don't circle around. So you go back to the beginning, and you can see this is all related to phone stuff. So here we have messaging. This is where you can send and receive and check your text messages. Here is where you have your contacts. You have the Bluetooth and the SIM card contacts, and they will appear here for making phone calls. And then you have your generic dialer. Now, when you put in a number and you hit the dial button, this is how you can tell if you have a dual mode type of a watch. If it has two options, in this case, Bluetooth call or local call, if I had a SIM card, the local call would be lit up and you'd call from the watch. If not, the Bluetooth is lit up by default if you're tethered, and you can make a call through your phone. All right? This is not done on Android watches. We still don't know why. This is awesome. This is how it should be on all of the watches. And it is on the KW08. You have your choice of calling using your phone in the the number that's on your telephone, or the number that's on your watch, which are different numbers. Okay, we're not going to place calls, but let's run over here and see what else we've got. That's page 1. Page 2, up here, we have Bluetooth notifications. So whatever notifications you have coming in will show up there. This one is a remote camera, so that when you're tethered, you press that button and it will allow you to take a picture. You can use the watch as a button, and it shows you the image of what your camera is seeing right now on the watch. I'd do it for you, but I'm using the phone that's tethered right now, and if I do that, it stops the video, so I can't do that part of it for you. But that's what it does, remote camera. We've seen that before. Here's your Bluetooth stuff that you can set up and make sure that you are tethered correctly to your phone. Here's a little voice recorder. Hello everybody, I'm recording right now with my watch. This is the KW08 smartwatch. Well, all right, how do I play it? I guess I have to go to the gallery to play it. This is where you can have your anti-loss, so it will ring your phone. If you've lost your phone, you can turn that on and you can have it vibrate and ring. All those options are there. We'll come back to that if we can find wherever that recording went. Now it's testing your blood pressure, your heart rate. It's going to get the pulse rate here and show you beats per minute. And it's fairly quick. It's come up with 63, 64. It's changing real time, 65, 66. Oftentimes we see that it'll grab a number to start with and then it adjusts over time. So it's best to keep testing it and see when it settles down in the range that it settles down on. So I'm locking in at about 64 right there. All right, that's the pulse. This is a back button, and that's the home button. Okay, those are those three things. Here's your sleep time. You hit open, which is basically start when you go to bed, and stop it when you wake up, and it'll tell you the quality of your sleep. Your sedentary reminder you can turn on or off, and how often you want it to remind you. That's like a looping timer, basically. And then you've got your steps. So you can start a timer and time your steps. It'll calculate your distance and your calories burned based on generic input for everybody. So it's not all that accurate, but the steps may be. So that's what you could work with. Two different types of wallpaper. I don't really see much of a difference between them. There's one. And, oh, I have to do that and say okay. Well, oh, I guess it's a little bit lighter in color. Anyway, that's that. This is the QR code you scan to get the tethering app that you work together with this watch. And this is our settings. We can set time and date manually, or pull it off of the linked phone, which is what I'm doing right now. Your languages available in this watch include all of these. Okay. We're in English. LCD backlight. This is how bright the overall brightness of the watch is. You can make it pretty bright, and you can tone it down. I'm leaving it on about 2, which is about just right for shooting on video. You have Bluetooth, turning the power on, the visibility of the watch to the phone, what you call the watch. It's KW08, but you can change it. And then the anti-lost feature as well with Bluetooth. And then you can restore all of your settings if you want to. Kind of limited settings, but those are the ones that you have for a tethering watch. You don't need a whole lot. Here's the actual onboard camera. And where's my little sticker? I'll try taking a picture. There we go. And that goes back. Let's just take another one. It's so hard for me to get the centering just right. Okay. What happens if I click here? I can delete it or forward it, it says. And that's it for the picture. I guess we have to go into the gallery to take a look at it. There's settings here. Video recorder capability. This is your capture mode, normal or continuous shot. We have normal or night lighting. Can you read all that? Your EV settings, wallpaper, VGA formats. Okay. And we'll just return. Okay, so different things you can do with the camera. File manager. Inside the phone, there's the photos. And here's our images. I wanted to show you whether or not we can tap or pinch and zoom. It doesn't look like I have capability to do much of anything with the images. Back. Let's look at the second one. Oftentimes triple tapping will zoom in, but I'm not getting that. It's rotated it. It's rotated the whole watch, it looks like. Okay, you can play with that. That just gives you an idea of the camera capabilities. It's pretty low resolution. This is your music player for music that's installed here on the watch, which we don't have any right now, but if we did, you'd be able to play it right there. This is your call history for phone calls that you've made. This is the image viewer. Let's see if it looks any different. No. So we were looking at it through the file manager, but you actually have a image viewer as well. And this thing that looks like a Windows icon is your profile for audio of all things. General, silent, meeting, or outdoors. Nice and loud. I always try to keep it as loud as possible. This is your motion sensor. And I presume that's for showing you the time when you lift your arm. Here's a tool and fun, it says, alarm, so you can set different alarms for the watch, or your calculator, which is like this. A lot of significant digits, easy to read, fairly easy to operate. And that's all we've got are those two things in that one. And then our video. We have, of course, we can take little video clips here. So you have a video player. And then there's the sound recorder. Oh, disconnect Bluetooth music. Okay, because we're not doing that. And now we can play. Hello, are we recording? Maybe this is a sound recorder as well. Let's stop this. And it's saved. And we play it. Hello, are we recording? Maybe this is a sound recorder as well. Let's stop this. Sounds like the sound is coming out from behind. Not too terribly loud, but that's our sound recorder on here, and our video player, media. And that's it. That's everything in the watch in terms of the installed apps. Okay. From the front screen, you have access to your phone right there that you can dial from, or your messages right here, so you can text message. And then icons down across the bottom that tell you the status and condition of the watch. All right, but wait, there's more. Let's look inside. Okay, I've loosened the screws on the back of both of the watches, so we'll take a look at what's inside. Why not? I think I've got it loosened up. Yes, good, good, good. All right, here we are looking at the KW08. And as you can see, we've got a metal plate shielding just about everything on the motherboard. Here's where we put in the SIM card, which of course you can do just by taking that little cover off. We don't need to take the whole back off. In fact, it's a good idea not to do that because you see the little rubber grommet? You could ruin the integrity of that, and that'll diminish the waterproofness or the water retardation. So don't do what I'm doing, but you can watch the video to see what it's like. All right. Here's the charging area. Well, that's blooming out with the flashlight, huh? There's the charging area right there. And that looks like the speaker hookup right there. You see that little metal thing right there? That's where we would disconnect the battery from the charging circuitry and from the watch. So if for some reason your watch gets in what they call a boot loop or has a problem, you can lift that little thing right there. It's a little connector that will disconnect the battery. Do that for a couple of minutes and then push it back down again. And hopefully everything will restore fine with your watch. But that's not why we're here. We're not even about the KW08. Today is examining the other watch, the KW08, which is supposed to have fancy stuff. It's supposed to have a magnetically coupled charging circuit that you can use without having to hook up the connectors. Well, let's take it open. Okay. Can I be informal with you guys? I'm going to stick the flashlight in my mouth. And I'll try to keep talking to you. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure if I undid it enough. Yeah. Uh-oh. I feel a wire. Oh dear. I guess we're not going to take it too far off. Okay, look, there's, need a little more light on this thing, right? Yeah, okay. Here's the, oh no, there goes my screws. All right. Don't do this at home. Wow, how in the world are you supposed to get in here? There's, I can't believe this. There's the battery, I guess, or it's the charging mechanism for the battery. Nonetheless, there it goes down to that little connector right there. Right there. Hello? Okay. That's what we would disconnect if we want to take the back off completely. But I'm guessing that behind what you're seeing here is the charging circuitry and probably the battery itself. That's huge. Wow. And look over here. Look at all the charging pins and up above. So 4 of those, or 5, what? On the outside? What do we got? Oh, over here. Here's where it charges. Oh, but here is where it transfers all of that. I shine the light right on it so I can see, but you can't. Okay, right there, right there is where it transfers everything over to here. Wow, this is a sophisticated design. Man. Now, 2 things in here. One, this is the SIM card, right? And this is the micro SD or TF card. So you have the ability to put extended memory in here, and you can put in your SIM card to use it as a standalone watch phone. So I guess you're supposed to open this up like I just did. Just be careful and don't let your screws go flying everywhere. Okay, well, that's what we know about the Kingwear KW08. One more thing to show you before we take off from here. The watch faces. You haven't seen the installed watch faces yet. It doesn't come with a whole lot, but it does come with these. And as far as adding new ones, I really don't know on this one. It doesn't look like it's supported with the attached tethered application. So I'm not sure. If it is possible, I'll put a link down below how you would do that. I wanted to point out on this watch face, and there's no way to change the timeout that I can tell either. It's like really short. It's got the flat tire on it that we've seen in the Android Wear watches. It doesn't go away. I don't know if that's a fashion statement. I can't imagine in this day and age that it needs to be there with the full screen watches we see everywhere. But it's there on this one. Even on this one here, you can see the bottom's cut off basically. But these are the watch faces that are installed, and this one is the one that has the dynamic buttons that you can touch to get to these different resources. All right, that's it. Together with the KW08, these guys make a handsome pair. There we go. And this is a full-on Android 5.1 watch, one of the best sellers ever. This one, our KW08, is a dual-mode tethering watch, smaller design, smaller footprint. You can make and receive phone calls through your phone or through the SIM card inside here. This one, you need the SIM card in order to do that. And they're both attractive-looking watches. And right now, the KW08 is available to us from BangGood, and they've supplied this one for us. You can get it in a variety of colors, silver, gold, black, and check the show notes down below. I'll have a buying link for you to take you right to this page, and hopefully we'll have a coupon sale price for you as well. So check out the show notes. Thank you guys for watching, and that's the latest from Kingwear, the KW08. We'll see you soon.